Welcome to our channel Study English with Momita and Shomi. I'm Ma'am Shomi and this time I'm back with a video on a poem named The Spider and the Fly written by Mary Howitt. I hope some of you have already watched our videos on ISC proposal writing and ISC phrasal verbs. This time we are uploading a series on the spider and the fly. In fact, this is part 1 of that series, wherein we will give you an easy line-by-line explanation of the text. ISC students of classes 11 and 12, kindly take out your poetry book Reverie, a collection of ISC poems, poem number 9. Let's read what is written on page number 28. The Spider and the Fly first appeared in Howitt's collection Sketches of Natural History, a series of poems written to educate children about the realities of the natural world. The poem reads like a fantasy or fable. So, before starting the textual explanation, I would like to explain what is a fable. Let us just go back to our childhood where we read the Panchatantra. Well, the Panchatantra is a fable and so is the poem The Spider and the Fly. What is a fable? A fable is a work of fiction. It is short and has few characters. A moral is taught and the characters are animals. They are not human beings, they are animals with human attributes, that is, human qualities. Let's learn a new word related to this. Anthropomorphism. Just check the spelling. Anthropomorphism. What is this anthropomorphism? Endow a non-human character with human traits and behaviors. For example, in this poem, the spider and the fly both act and behave like human beings, and they act as metaphors for certain types of people who exist in society. These two groups of people are manipulators and gullible people. Manipulators are shrewd and cunning, and the gullible people easily get misled by the manipulators. They easily believe in what the manipulators do. Before starting the textual analysis, you need to understand the theme as well as the moral lesson that this poem conveys. Power of flattery and destructive effect of vanity. We need to check these themes as we understand the poem, as we analyze the poem. And the lesson is, stay away from strangers and from their idle, silly and flattering words. This poem is a cautionary tale against flatterers who use flattery and charm to disguise their real intentions. Well, this is a fable and there are didactic elements. And what is didacticism? Didacticism is the moral lesson that we are going to learn after reading this poem. This is very crucial. Come to stanza number 1. Let's begin right away. The simple title of the poem immediately introduces us to the two main characters, the spider and the fly. Will you walk into my parlor? Said the spider to the fly. The spider here is inviting the fly to enter into his little home to accept his invitation. The spider seems to be sociable as well as friendly, but can we trust the spider? Well, this is the $1,000,000 question. As we all know, the spider is a natural predator and its prey is the fly. Or are we correct in apprehending a sense of danger, a sense of mistrust? Well, I leave this to you. Think and tell me. But let's read and then see what happens. 'Tis the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. The spider is trying to convince the fly by describing his little parlor. According to the spider, it is the prettiest little parlor ever seen by the fly. Pay close attention to the spider's choice of words. The spider describes his parlor as the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. The act of spying is to watch something secretly. We share secrets and we confide in someone very close to us. Inviting the fly to spy into his abode, into his home, the spider is trying to send the message that he considers the fly to be close. See how the spider portrays his home as a mysterious and wonderful place. More details are added to arouse the fly's curiosity. The parlor may be reached through a winding stair and it is filled with many pretty things. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair, and I have many curious things to show when you are there. The spider is trying really hard to impress the fly. Only when the fly will enter into his little parlor, the spider will show him many curious things, and not before that. Thankfully, the fly wisely sees through the spider's plot. She knows that those who go through the winding stair into his home never come out. It implies she is aware that the spider has eaten his previous guests. This is just another invitation to catch his prey. She clearly declines telling the spider that to ask her into his home is in vain, that is useless. Oh no is an example of repetition. R-E-P-E-T-I-T-I-O-N. Figure of speech, repetition. The fly is quite prompt in declining the spider's offer. But, my dear students, I have a question here once again. Do you really think that the fly is wise and will again use her common sense later in the poem? Herein lies the artistry and craftsmanship of the poet. She frames the plot in such a way, she uses words in such a way that will immediately arouse such questions in the reader's mind from time to time. The title is also not that simple, and after the reading of the poem, you will be able to justify the appropriateness of the title on your own. Stanza 2. I'm sure you must be very dear with soaring up so high. Will you rest upon my little bed? Said the spider to the fly. There are pretty curtains drawn around. The sheets are fine and thin. And if you like to rest a while, I will snugly tuck you in. I will take the responsibility of making you feel comfortable in my little home. And he is addressing the fly as dear. He is so close to the fly. Very nice. Here, he has changed his strategy. He tries a different tactic. This time, the spider pretends to be really worried about the fly. He has been keeping a close eye on the fly. Posing as a sympathizer, the spider pretends to fret over how tired the fly must be after what he feels is a day of intense flying. He goes so far as to personally offer her a respite from the day's activities. And how temptingly he offers his prospect of a little rest, like offering water to a thirsty traveler. A cozy little bed with light sheets to rest on, a quiet place with pretty curtains drawn around to make it cool and dark. To an exhausted person, this would be bliss, the perfect atmosphere to snugly tuck in. The expression fine and thin sheets bring to mind the fine silk of a cobweb. If the spider tucks the fly into this bed, she could find herself in permanent or eternal sleep, that is, death. Notice how the poet with great subtlety uses her words and expressions to expose the real motive of the spider. And what is the real motive of the spider? To kill the fly, to trap the fly. Oh no, said the little fly, for I have often heard it said, they never wake again who sleep upon your bed. This time also she is very cautious. Oh no, no, note her repetition of never for emphasis. They never, never wake again who sleep upon your bed. She is well aware of the fact that there is something fishy and the spider is cunning and shrewd. She doesn't listen to his words of flattery. Stanza 3. Said the cunning spider to the fly, "Dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I have always felt for you?" He tries to manipulate the fly into feeling guilty for not accepting his many gestures of friendship. He is blackmailing her emotionally. But the poet has directly commented on the motive of the spider by using the word cunning. The spider is cunning and shrewd, a manipulator, and he is just trying to trap the fly. Therefore, the expression "dear friend" is ironical. To prove the warm affection I have always felt for you. This is a blatant lie, and the fly needs to be cautious. Will the fly be cautious as she was before? Well, let's see. I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. I am sure you are very welcome. Will you please to take a slice? So polite, so humble, trying to help the fly in all possible ways. When the fly was tired, he offered to give her a bed, and now that the fly is perhaps hungry, he is offering food. These constant invitations, these invitations show how cunning the spider is. He is desperate and he wants to win the trust of the fly. "Oh no, no," said the little fly. "Kind sir, that cannot be. The fly is also so polite, so humble." It shows that while the fly shows courtesy to the spider, she is not keen on him as a friend and will still keep her distance. We are all relieved. "I have heard what's in your pantry and I do not wish to see." Now this is an example of dark humor. The fly is aware of the fact that his pantry is full of the bones and the carcasses of his previous guests. Here she tactfully alludes that she already knows what's in the spider's pantry, his past victims, and therefore is not interested in knowing more. What will happen to the spider and the fly as we are heading towards the climax? And in that climactic moment, the fates of the natural predator and its prey will be revealed to the readers. But before that, my dear students, kindly subscribe to our channel, Study English with Momita and Shomi. Join us and also watch the second video, part 2 of the poem The Spider and the Fly, written by Mary Howitt, for an easy explanation of the text. Kindly check the description box for all PDF links and also view the playlist.